All right, so we will start in this webinar. So as you know, this is the webinar for the presentation of the new update that we had the last May 5th. So this is the MatrixGold 3.9. We will start with the introductions. As probably many of you already know, my name is Oriol Godildemon, this long and weird surname, and I am the Gemvision product director. Today with me, I have Tanner. We were expecting Bo from the training team. Bo had something that he had to be on, so he couldn't make it today, unfortunately. But we have Tanner. Tanner is in the training team too, so he has been doing a lot of trainings with Bo. He has been around US with many customers, training people with MatrixGold, so I'm glad to have him here today. So Tanner, if you want to introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, I'm Tanner. I've been with Stellar for about 8 years. I've done a lot. I was in the R&D department working really hard on the SureCast OpenGrow. So I don't know if you guys ever used OpenGrow here, but that was a big project that I worked on. So today I'll be answering any questions you guys have in the chats. It can be anything related to MatrixGold, the software 3.9. Even if you want to throw in some 3D printing questions, I'll be glad to answer it. And yeah, really excited for this update for you guys. I think you guys would be really excited for it.
Thank you, Tanner. Tanner, before I keep going, is the sound good? Because you were saying before that it was a bit weird. Is okay now?
Yeah, it's much better. Much better.
Perfect. And the camera, everything is okay, right?
Beautiful.
Perfect. So I see quite a few customers that we already know here. So I'm happy to see all these customers. And please feel free to ask anything you want at any time. This is a webinar to show all the major updates in this 3.9. But as I said, we want to talk to you. We want to hear from you. So feel free to text anything. And if we need to stop the demo, we'll be happy to do that. All right. So the first thing that I will start with is just for anyone, when we release a new update, I believe that is important also for everyone to know where they can see all the different release notes. This is important. So you can see all the changes that we have done in this update. So if you go to gemvision.com, you will see that just in the home, you have this button that says Discover Now. You can go to Discover Now, and straight away you have the release notes. So this is where you will go to this web page with all the different work that we have been doing lately. There is, as you can see, a lot of stuff in this one. There are things that you may notice, things that you may not. In this webinar, what we will try to do is to show you things that you may already have been working on, still things that you haven't been tried. So I would like to show you, and you can use them at any given time. But look how many things we have been working. So when we work with any new update, there are things that sometimes you ask for us that it's an easy win, and we go straight away for those. There are other things that even sometimes they may seem that they are not hard to accomplish, but you know, in the background there is a lot of work to be done. So we try to get as many as we can. In 2025, we are commit to at least have 3 updates. So we had the first one May 5th, is the one that we will be talking about. Then we plan to have another one in around June, and another one at the end of the year. So all these updates will be for free. After the last year and a half, we have been collecting a lot of feedback. We feel that now MatrixGold is in a stage where it's more mature than 5 years ago. We have a lot of tools. Now we feel it's not the time to just release more tools, but to fine-tune the tools that we have. So lucky as we are the most popular software in the world, so we get a lot of feedback from very specific workflows, and this is what we want to accomplish in the updates that we will have on 2023. Before I start to show my screen with the MatrixGold, also something else that I would like to talk about is that we are very interested to get people in the release candidate. The release candidate is a program, we call it program, but the release candidate is a version that we release to certain users who has the flag of release candidate users, so they can start testing the public version 2 weeks, 3 weeks before we publish the public version. The main reason for that is because once we publish the public version, we want to be sure that everyone or as many different workflows has been testing this version. We have a whole team who's testing the software, but honestly, with the team that we have, try to test all the different workflows from all the different customers that we have around the world is an impossible task. We have different automate tasks that it's helping on this, but still there is always someone who's using a specific thing in a specific way that we can find or we can try. So it's good, to have people in the release candidate, because then once we publish the public one, that version is as fine-tuned as we can. And there is one customer that is saying, will it receive that date if I buy a student license? The student license is always the last version. So if you buy a student license, if there is an update, you will get that update. That's for sure. So no problem on that. The last thing, so I was talking about the release candidate. The release candidate, anyone that gets into the release candidate, once you get into the program, this is our launcher. So as you can see, this is the launcher from where you launch MatrixGold or Counter Sketch. Now, if you go to your settings here, you see now I have the MatrixGold version production. But if I want to go to the release candidate, I just need to click here in the release candidate. And the next time that there is a release candidate, so there, just say that in June we'll have a release candidate for the public version that we will release, you can just go and download the release candidate from the launcher just in this area that it will say install, so you can download the launcher, the release candidate. All right, so this was an introduction about the versions that we will have, how to get in the release candidate. And now I will start with different demos from the 3.9. The way that I'm planning to do this today is working in 2 different versions. So I will work with 2 different virtual machines. So I won't work from my PC. So the performance of the virtual machines is even slower. So I like to do this so we can see how MatrixGold has improved the performance. And I will be just swapping between the 3.8. So here you can see that this is the 3.8 and the 3.9. So this is the 3.9. All right. So we will be swapping between these 2 versions so you can see the difference between one and the other. All right. So something that we will start is with the performance. I would like to speak about the performance for MatrixGold. I will talk about a few things that are things that you do every day multiple times. We want to improve this. Something that we have been working is just a simple thing, a thing like starting a new file. If I go to the 3.8 here and I start and I click on new file, you see now this is spinning. Now we are creating a new file. And we keep thinking. So this was taking too long. This is something that we do too many times in one day when you need to start a new file. Now let me go and do it in the 3.9. So when I go to the 3.9, now I will go new, and let's see how long it takes. Done. So we reduce the waiting time a lot. Companies or users that they do a lot of new files every day, little things like this, I believe that it makes a big difference. Then now I'm in the 3.9. Let me open this file that is the full save free. You will see that here I don't have any picture. This is because it's a virtual machine. If I show you the one that I have in local, that is this one, as you can see, everything is fine. So here you have all the snapshots from the screen captures from the file that you are working. But because I'm working with the virtual machines, this is why you have it like this. Meanwhile, let me open also the same in the 3.8. So I will open the same file in the 3.8. So let me go And you can see already how long it takes with a 3.8. So meanwhile, I will go with a 3.9. And what I will do here is just open this file and start from the top. And something that I will do is, first of all, I will just move these stones like this. Okay, so I still have all the parametric here. And what I will do now is Control-C, Control-V. So every time that I do Control-Z, Control-V, I am creating, again, more gems here. And I just can move them here. Let me also keep the record history on, just in case. Now, I will do the same, Control-C, Control-V. And I'm creating more gems. So this is something that people was asking for. The Control-C, Control-V is something that you use many, many times. It's quite convenient. And the cool thing is that I keep adding here all the settings so I can make any change that I want at any time. So if I want to go to this gem, it opens here. And now I can make it from here smaller, bigger, or I can also do it from just here. All right. So this allows me to go very, very fast to create, just say, a necklace. So sometimes the people was telling me, when I create a necklace, when I need to move things, it goes too slow. Now I can get all those. Well, first I will do something more. Now what I will do is just, for these gems, I will select, just say, this gem. I will create a bezel on this one. Let me go to the 4 views. And I will do something like that. Just adapt it a bit more to this height. And probably because this is too close, I will make it thinner. Now, with something like this, what I will do is just replicate this to all the other ones. So we have this nice tool that is the Orient to Gem. And I will say that from this gem, I want to orient this object to all these gems. I will unselect this. And there we go. And I will do the same for this one. So for this one, if I want to keep the same settings, probably what I can do is just use the, from tools, I will use the match attributes. So I will use the match attributes. I want to apply it on this one. I want to select it from this. Not from this, it was from this one. So select object tools, play this one. So the bezel, apply, and there we go. And now I can do again from gems to orient to gems, orient to gem, select base gem, this one, objects to orient this, and target gems 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I will get all this, and I will use to the mirror. So now here we have, and we can keep going on and on. So now here we have this part of necklace, but now I have the power to do anything that I want. So if I come here, as you can see, this is opening. This was an MSR that I just changed, but I just need to go like this, and everything adapts very, very smooth. If I want to make it smaller, I can also make it smaller. So anything that I want to do, it recalculates super, super quick. And because I also have the parametric mirror, also happens here. I will try to do the same in the 3.8 just for you to see the difference. So I open the 3.8 and just look at the stars. So I get these stones, Control-C, Control-V. It's already thinking a lot longer. It's taking a lot more time. So as you can see, the experience, even if we are working with the parametric, takes too long. So now we have it. So as you can see, we have it here. But what happens when I move those? that it brings a lot of problems. So it's not easy to fix this stuff because internally we have a graph with a lot of different blocks that are linked to each other. So accomplishing what we accomplish in this situation, we believe that has been something very, very big. Let me see. I will look. Tanner, if you see any question, please let me know. I just will keep going if not. So the replication abilities is so great, are so great, Helian. Fantastic. So it seems that everyone is good on that. So if there is any question, please bring it on. All right. So something that is good on in these situations, of course, is that just let me go to the 3.9 just to add a bit more of information about this 3.9, and I will open this file. So now I have a file where I have different stones with different heads, and before, when we had gems on surface, and you see now I have this ring in the 3.8. The problem that we had is that when we were, this is gems on surface, you see we have it here. So now it's very easy to select any of these stones. So just say that I want to select this stone. I can select it very quick. And when I change it, everything just changes very, very quick. Before, what was happening before is that when I was moving one gem as I am moving here, every move that we were doing, everything was recalculating. The problem with that, it was that you couldn't make it, because when you were trying to move, every small move that you were doing, we were recalculating all the geometry because it's parametric. Now, with the ability that, you know, you can, while you have the mouse just on, you can make any change that you want. And when you do the move, the mouse up, then everything recalculates. So automatically allows you to make any change. And this is quite convenient, you know, when you have something like this that you need just to adapt. So now I can go and very easy, just say that you want to make something, you know, that can stick each other. So you can do something like this very, very quick. So again, so it's helping a lot on all these situations. All right, so let me keep looking to our friend Jessica. Hello, Jessica, how are you? Is there any compatibility issues with opening up a fully dynamic Boolean file from 3.5 Rhino to and editing it in 3.9? No, so the compatibility is there. So you can open a file from 3.9 in Rhino 7, and in 3.9 you still will have all the dynamic comments, all the links that still will be there. Also, something that we will talk later about the power on and power off. Also, you should have it in there, even is an old file. Okay. Now, let me show you something else. Let me go with the 3.9. And on this one, I will stay just with the 3.9 because what I'm going to show you is something that we didn't have in the 3.8. So I will go for a new file because now creating new files is very quick. There we go. And what I will create is just very easy. I will go to surface. I will create a plane in this area like this. And now from here, I will just rotate it and move it like here. So now on this plane, I will go and I will create a gem. Gem on surface. And I will place a gem here. Now, if I want to make a mirror to this gem, what was happening before is that when I was going to mirror, it was using this the wall plane. Now, today, because we have in the view tab, we have these commands, the surface view. So now I can go to the surface view. And now, as you can see, I have this new view that is related to the surface that I had. Okay, let me just be sure. now. So first you need to select the surface, and now I move the plane to this surface. So now, as you can see, everything is looking to this surface. Now, because I moved the plane, I can just select the stone, go to transform, and do the mirror, and it's doing the mirror exactly on this other side. I also can do the multi, and I will get it like this. So when you look at the perspective, if you are working in a piece like this, you can get the mirror. And this is something that before you couldn't make. I will go back to restore views. So now I have it as it was before. And I can do also the same when you have, just say that let me make a ring like this, and I will create on this, I will create a gem. And then I will create another gem just here. And I will create this smaller. Great. So now also I can do the same with using the gems. So I can go again back to the view. I can select the gem view. And now I can start to play with gems. So now if I want, I can create just, I have different ways to create it, but I can go and create another gem on ring. And I will move it from here. Like this. I will make it smaller. And now because we have this new plane, I can use the polar array. So once I'm in here, I can go just to transform, and I can use the polar array, the dynamic one. So I will select the objects. These are the objects. I will need to change the axis. And now I get the right one. All right. So this is also something pretty cool, because also I can do the same with the mirror. So I can just very quick create one. To say that I create one glow, I will use from solid, I will use but this one, I will use the pipe. I can increase the thickness. And now I can do a mirror. So I can do the mirror. And there we go. So good to go. If it's too far, I just need to select the points and change this. So now it's as I want it. So you can work with a mirror. As you can see, it's not the whole plane, but because I use from the view tab the gem view to use it as the plane, now I can play the polar array, and I can play also the mirror. Okay, so we have another message from George. Can you import the 3.8 all model and adjust it, or you have to draw from scratch? You can import the 3.8 model. So of course that every now and then we break something. I'm gonna be honest here, but this is also is something that we always try to keep in mind. All the users have a big library of files that they have been designing with previous versions. So something that we always keep in mind is all these files, just that you can open them in any of these updates. And the 3.8 is also running on Rhino 8. Even Jessica was talking about the 3.5 that is in Rhino 7, but either from Rhino 7 to Rhino 8, this is something that we keep in mind, and we make them compatible. Of course, that Rhino every now and then keep changing things because it's also getting better and better. But we are always talking to the McNeil team. So if there is any change that will affect our MatrixGold, we try to know it in advance, and we adapt to the changes that they make. All right, so we have gone through the performance, the mirror, and the polar array. We are already 27 minutes. This update is too week. Tanner, all good? Anything? You have anything to say?
No, all good on this end.
Fantastic. All right, let me just open another file in the MatrixGold 3.9. I will open this in the MatrixGold 3.9 because, again, this was another tool that we didn't get in the MatrixGold 3.8. So I don't want to save the changes, and I'm going to open this file. So the file that I'm going to show you now is a mesh. So this is a mesh, and we have all these stones. Something that we have been focusing a lot with MatrixGold is that, there are many softwares that you can make some models, but MatrixGold is being used for hardware. So there is people who's designing very heavy models in MatrixGold. So we need to make this software capable to hold all these heavy files. One of the problems that we had with MatrixGold is then when you had something like this, I don't know how many stones we have here now. So 20, 40, probably there may be around 100 stones. When you had to add prongs on surface to all these stones, so we had just the prong on surface. The first problem that we had with this is that it was working just on surface. Here we have a mesh, so you wouldn't be able to use the prong on surface. And the second one is that also because it was parametric, it was making the file too heavy. When we are working with files like these ones that we have so many stones, we believe from the jeweler standpoint that you don't need to be parametric, because if you change the surface, also you will need to adapt the stone. So we said, let's come up with a light prong placer, and it's the static surface prong. So this is the one that we also added for this new update. So now it's asking me select the surface. As I said, this is a mesh, so I can select it. And now I have already this panel that I can start to use, okay? So what is allowing you is to start placing prongs wherever you want. And you have also the keyboard shortcuts. This is very important because then you go a lot faster. What else do you have here? Let me just make it adapted to here. Oh, not that big. No, I made it too big. Okay. This is the first time that happens to me, that I make it so big. Okay, let me click enter. All right. So let me start again. So surface prong on this surface. And oh man, there we go. Now, perfect. So I put it here. And here, as you can see, we have different mirrors. This is also, very good, because then you can go much faster. So which mirror do I want? So now I go here in the 0.5, I go with Y. Where will I get the mirror? I don't want it here. I want in the X, because these stones are a mirror from those. So I can start very quick. So I start to place prongs anywhere I want. And it goes very fast. It's very light. And now, if I just want to make it bigger, I just need to go with a keyboard. Now it's 0.3. I can go to 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. Very easy. And if I click here, we say with the shift, then because sometimes you want to be very precise, so I click shift, control, and then I go by 0.01. So you can be as precise as you want. Okay. Now I click enter, and you will see that I also have them on the other side. So this is a very fast way to place prongs. And this is a new tool that we add because, sometimes when you have these heavy files, these tools are very, very convenient. All right, now I will open another file because what I want to show you is something that we believe that can be a big change in MatrixGold. Is what we call the power on, power off on the dynamic commands. So let me just open this one. It will be the same file, but with a few steps ahead. So we will have like the booleans done. Everything will be the prongs, I believe, that are already there. So let me just open it.
We do have a few questions in chat right now, Oriol.
Okay. Let me go for those who miss audio. All right, Tanner, can you open 3.9 files on older? Jessica is saying, Tanner, can you open 3.9 files on older software and still edit? So Jessica, unless there is any new tool that you are using in the 3.9, of course, that if you open it in the 3.8, you won't be able to open it. So if it's in Rhino 8, you shouldn't have problems. Now, if you are going from the 3.9, you save it as a Rhino 7, and you open it in MatrixGold 3.5 on Rhino 7, Tanner, I don't know if you can help me on that, but I'm not pretty sure. So first of all, for sure that you need to save it as a Rhino 7.
Yeah.
I still believe that you probably can run the dynamic commands, but what is 100% sure is if you open it, you make it in 3.9, you can also work with a 3.8.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I think if you save it as a Rhino 7, that you should be able to work with it. But the dynamic history might be like a little bit messed up, though, is what I'm kind of wondering if you go back to 3.5.
Yeah, I see that Jessica is asking about. We can talk about this, Jessica. I see that you have the licenses on the 3.5 on Rhino 7. I love to see that you are still with this version because I believe that you will really notice a big difference once you jump to the 3.9. But yeah, we can have a conversation aside, and Tanner, at any time, if you can give a go and try to open it in MatrixGold in Rhino 7, we can try.
Yeah, definitely do that.
What I noticed, Johan is saying, what I noticed in the new version that I often have to reset the gamble because he's relocated out of the object I have to move. Look, Johan, you need to just call us at any time to support. This is something that I haven't heard from someone else. So when it's something as specific as you are saying, the best thing is that we connect remotely and see where the problem is coming. If there is anything that we need to fix, or if there is anything in your system that we can help you with. So please contact support and we'll be more than happy to help you on that. Cool. Let's go for the power on, power off. So as most of you can see now in the new version, we have the light icon that we have in all the dynamic commands. You know that when you go to a tab where we have dynamic and non-dynamic commands, the ones that has the green lighting are the ones that are the dynamic. Now, what happened today is just say that, let me go to perspective. If you look at this model, here I have different things. So I have all these stones, and all these stones are and prongs are mirrored on this side. And on top of this, all of them, they have, let me just hide this one. That is, well, if this is. So all of them has the cutter and the boolean, right? Because this software is parametric, the problem that you have is that now today, if I come here and I say, okay, I will go to these gems, I will go to edit them, I will select the one that I have here, and what I will do is I will just make it smaller. So from the moment that I do the mouse up, I need to wait. I need to wait because what is happening here is that MatrixGold is doing all the recalculations. So first what I will do is look at all the prongs that are depending on this stone. So it will recalculate how big are the prongs needs to be to fill up this space. And then once this is done, it will go to the cutters that we have and also will recalculate all the cutters that we have, right? So every time that we make a change, all this needs to happen. When you have a file, and this is big, but it's not something crazy, but when you have a file where you have many operations, this becomes very, very hard to manage, right? So we thought, let's do something here. So now you see, now it's recalculating everything. So we said, we have another option. The other option that we have is we can let the people decide once they want to recalculate everything. So now I know that the way that the prongs, the pave prongs works is that they look the distance between the stones and then they get bigger or smaller. So if I know that I want a small prongs, what I have to do here is just try to bring the stones as close to each other as I can. So what I will do is I will turn off, first of all, the Boolean, also the mirror. I don't want to recalculate every mirror that we have, and also the gem cutters. I don't need to recalculate them. The pave prongs, let's start without, and then I show you what happens once I have them on. Keep in mind that I'm working, as I said at the very beginning, with a virtual machine. So the specs from this computer are much less than any of the ones that you can have. But I'm doing this on purpose because I can show you how MatrixGold still is fluent with a low specs computer. Cool. I will go to the gems. I will go to edit. And now, look, I can edit the stone. Done. I can keep going on another one. Nothing is being recalculated now. I can go to this one and I can do the same. Okay, I can go to this one. So now I'm just working with a stone. Everything else that is related to these stones is doing nothing because everything else is off. So now, if I want to see what is happening with these prongs, this one is okay. If I want to see what is happening with these prongs because I increased the the dimensions of these stones, what you can do, I don't know, no, this one. I can just turn this on. So if I turn this on, look at these prongs. They change automatically. So now you have the freedom to decide when to play with the parametric. When my advice here is if the files that you are using are files that are not too heavy, so probably you don't need to pay too much attention to that. But when the file starts to have a lot of booleans, that as you know, booleans takes time and there is a lot of calculations there, or when you have a lot of stones, a lot of cutters, then is when this is playing a very, very good role in the parametric. Look at this. So now if I validate and I hide all my stones, as you can see, even I made the stones bigger, but the holes still are the same. But now if I go and I recalculate the gem cutters and the booleans, you will see also how these holes, you see, has changed. Now all the holes has changed because, again, I recalculate everything. The mirror, though, still is off. So now if we look from the very top, let me go to the top view. So this section here is the ones that I have changed. Was these ones here. So as you can see, the distance between these two stones is very small, but look on these ones. It's big because the mirror is still off. Now let me turn it on, and now you will see how everything recalculates and is exactly the same. So again, as you can see, the distance between every hole is the same that we have in this one because we just recalculated. These pave prongs, it doesn't matter because are those around here. So even if I turn them on or off, no action is going to happen. All right, so let me look if there is any questions about the on-off. I don't see any. Is there a website location or document that has definition what all that tool does? Oh, look, Tanner, what Victoria is asking, I believe, that is a good question for you and the training team.
Yeah, we can definitely put one together and then post it on it on our website or the forum or wherever you guys want to go to find it.
Beautiful. Thank you. So yeah, this is the big thing on the power on, power off. I believe that can be a big help, when you are on these files that are too heavy and hard to manage. I believe that this can help a lot. What else do we have in this 3.9? Oh yeah, the quick comments. We realized that MatrixGold is growing, and growing, right? So look, on surface, look, all the dynamic comments that we have. In solid, the same. Tools, crazy. Gems. So there is no software that has so many tools. The reason why we have so many tools is because we have this big user base. So after all this time of Gemvision, after 20 years in jewelry workshops and manufacturers, we have all these users that has been asking for different tools. We are glad that we can provide these tools, but sometimes customers say there are too many. It's hard for me to manage all these tools. I am normally used for the kind of workflows that I have. I normally use, I don't know, and now I will put it out loud there, but maybe 20, 40, 60% of the tools that you provide me. So if I have to find them in the middle of all the other tools, sometimes for me it's a bit hard. So we thought, let's try to custom the tools that every customer is using. This is why we came out with a quick comments. Now with the quick comments, you can add as many tabs as you want. So if you want a specific tab for tools, you can go and just rename it, for tools, for gems, you can type gems. So now I'm just creating a tab where I will have the tools that I use the most for gems. What are the tools that I use the most for gems? It may be gems on curve. So I just drag and drop. The gem on surface also can be one of the ones that I use the most. For sure that I want to have their gem. And I don't know, pavé. And if I have gems that I'm getting from Matrix, because for sure that here there are also users from Matrix, you know that we have the gem override, that what it does, it gets all the gems that you have in Matrix and just bring them to the document so you can make any modifications to those gems. So now I can create another one that will be, this one will be the one for settings. So I will click settings. Okay. And now on settings, I will use, what are the tools that I use for settings? Prong placer, for sure, that is one of the ones I will use the most, head and bezel. And you can keep going on. Something that is very cool, that you can save different setups. So you can go here and you can save it. So anytime that you want to bring it on again, just say that you make a change, then you can just bring it on from this second button. So you are creating like your, I like to call it like your little MatrixGold, just adapted to your needs. Let me see questions. Hi, can we get the recording afterwards? Yes, everyone who has been assisting to this webinar, then they can log in again in Zoom and it will be posted there. Me too, I will also like the recording too, please. So yeah, you won't have a problem getting in there and getting the recording. All right, so we have gone through the quick comments, and now what we have left, I would like to keep the last 10 minutes and just, then do the recap for general improvements that we have done. So the ones that I have been showing you are probably the biggest ones. As I said, this update is not about new tools, it's about performance. And what I have been showing up to now, everything is related to performance. And now I see that Mehmet also has joined this webinar. Mehmet is also from Turkey, and they are working with these crazy files. So this kind of behavior that they had in the 3.8 can be improved a lot in the 3.9. What else? What general improvements also we've had in this MatrixGold 3.9? the scroll bar at the bottom. Now, here you don't see it in my one because I am in the bigger screen, but we also know that we have many customers working in smaller screens because we have so much information in this button tab. Look, what we have done is that you have a scroll bar that you can just move around. I don't know if I just, let me minimize and see what happens. No, you need to be in that screen so you can, oh, wait. Oh, there we go. You see, now I'm with a smaller screen and you have this scroll that you can do anything you want. Something also very cool is, and these are the little things that I really love that we are improving in MatrixGold. Many times when you were trying to move and maximize a screen from MatrixGold, you couldn't. Now you just need to grab it and you can move it wherever you want. So this is also something that are these little things that sometimes it makes you waste 1 minute of your time. Time is money, or you want to put it into your hobby. So these little things are very important. Let me open just a new file so I can show you a few more things. Thank you, Mehmet. Mehmet is saying that his customers really appreciate this new update. That's good to hear. So we got also a lot of feedback from Mehmet, so it's good to see him happy. Something that we have is just say that I have this line. I will add some gems. Let me just put them looking down like this. And on these gems, I will apply a cutter. So channel cutter. So now in this cutter, what we can move is this profile. So you see, before the only thing that we could do was that. But now we also added the profile that you can move and you can place where you want it. So this is something that the customers also were asking us. Sometimes, you know, you want to be more like this. And this now is giving you the freedom to achieve that. As you know, you always, if you make a change and this is something that you normally use, you can use it in your styles, or you can save it as a default style. So at any given time, when you use the channel cutter, if you save it as a default style, these are the settings that you will get. All right. Something that also was happening to us, and is something that was annoying many customers, is that if you just have, let me go like this, complete command, the gem on curve, I will go up to here, and now I will change these stones to this layer. All right, so now the layer is different. In previous versions, what it was happening is that when I was going to the gem on curve and I was editing it, the stones that I was adding, they were in the original layer. So actually I can show you now all of them are in the same layer. So if I do the same in the 3.8, if I just do a curve like this and I do the same steps that I did before, gem on curve, and I looking down. So I put these ones now in this layer. And now what I will do is I will add a few more. So I will go to edit, gem on curve, and I will add these ones. As you can see, all of them has changed, right? So if I do it again, if I select them, so the behavior was always very weird. So they stay on this layer. Now with the 3.9, if you choose one layer, all the edits that you will do will stay on that layer. Andrews The North is saying channel cutter sometimes handles corners weirdly. Yeah, sometimes if the curves have some king or a very very sharp edge, because this we are doing like a sweep, it's not easy to make this curve. But look, I will put it in our notes, and we can see if there is anything that we can do.
Or there was one question by Victoria,
Yep.
and it is, do we have to reset our custom layout tools with the upgrade? And I'm assuming it's like where everything is positioned on the ribbon bar and the quick commands. Do you know if 3.9 will maybe change, let's say, where freeform curve is at on the ribbon bar at all or anything like that?
I don't think so. So any change that the customer does to MatrixGold, we always save all these changes to the documents folder, because we want to keep this away from any update. So normally any changes or even styles, all these changes that you do to personalize your MatrixGold, we save this and we change it in the documents folder for each customer. Once we release a new update, everything that we change is in other folders, but the documents one, trying to keep this, safe for our customers. Look, as I said before, if there is anything that the customers are experiencing, that something has changed, let us know. But we always try to keep this away from all the changes that we do.
Perfect. And then there's another question there asking if there will be any more performance updates in the next upgrades, as in 3.10 and so.
In the 3.10 and 3.11, there will keep being performance updates. It won't be as many as in this one. In the next update, we'll have a couple of cool new tools that the people has been asking a lot for. But as I said, this will be for free. So if anyone wants to get MatrixGold now, 1 month from now, they will get the next one for free. So, but they will get like a couple of new features that it took us a while to make to have them done. But also performance updates, smaller things that we see that we can improve, and we keep adding them. So we are trying to make balance between new functionality, improvements, and also bug fixes.
Awesome.
All right, we are almost, look, 5 minutes to 1 hour. So mirror, yeah, also something that we were experiencing before, that the people were saying, why is this happening? So we are in no, this is the 3.8. Let me go to the 3.9. There we go. So in the 3.9, when you were just creating one gem, and you were doing something as easy as a mirror, the value that you were getting for this stone was negative. So there are these silly things that, the people keep saying, you need to fix that. So the people, they were totally right. So now, as you can see, is also positive as the same, like this one. So this is something that we had for a while, and also we have fixed it. Something very important too that we have been working is that, as I said at the very beginning, this software is being used all over the world. So when you go to the layers from here, you can go to the settings. As you know, here there are countries that they use with 14. There are countries that they work with 18. So now in here, you can do any setup for these layers and save it. In MatrixGold 3.8, you could do that. The problem, though, was that when you were starting the program again, we were resetting all these layers. So it means that everyone, you had to add the right material, the material that you want as a default in these layers. This is also something that we have fixed. And now if you turn on, again, MatrixGold, any material that you have set on those layers will stay how you set it up. And the last one that I want to show you, as you have seen at the very beginning, the release notes are very, very long, but we had just 1 hour. So I just tried to put the ones that may interest more people. So if I just add here just a ring. I will go for something like that. I will just drop it a bit because very, very few. And I will do something like this. And I will activate auto sweep on this one. Cool. Now, something that also we have been working that was broken was in cutters, when you use the cut to ring rail, here you have an option that is the comfort fit. So now we have the comfort fit. Let me go to this shade mode. So we have this curve, and this curve are telling you how the comfort fit will look like. So now if I just go up, you have this curve that are telling you how the cut will be. So if I leave it here, I get this nice comfort fit. And you can keep playing, on how this will change the angle, but very quick you get a nice comfort fit. These days the goal is very, very extensive, so anything that can help to reduce a bit the weight of any piece of jewelry is always something good to have. So anyway, this is all that I have planned. I believe that there was a lot. I hope that you like it, and let me see if there is any more questions. We can now make a mirror by choosing a point other than 0 as Rhino. So I have Mariona is asking for that. You can use now the surface and the surface view and the gem viewer here. This is something that I was showing at the very beginning. And using these two tools, having a gem or having a surface, you can achieve a mirror at any place of the document. Leanne is saying, love these new features. Thank you, Leanne. And let me see. Can you add a 9-carat layer? We don't have it there if I'm not wrong, but so layer, the options that we give you probably will be up to 10. No, we have up to 10, so we don't have 9, but this is something that we can look at. Also, keep in mind that when you apply materials in MatrixGold, you also have, let me just go here. When you go to the Render Studio, and I go to the document materials, here where you have the edit. So you just select this. If this is the material that you have in this document, you can go with the right button from your mouse, and you can go to the specific gravity. At the end of the day, the 9, 10 carat, 14, 18, all is given by the specific gravity. So you can change the specific gravity from here and save that material, like you have here this option. And then once you save your material, you will find this material in the user materials that are here. So then you will have the material that you have saved in the specific gravity that you have been looking. And then the 9-carat specific has one specific gravity, the same for the 4 carats. So anyone can make their own materials. Let me see. Tanner, anything that I'm missing?
No, looks good. One thing I want to give a shout out to is that I really enjoy using the power on and off for smart flow. That's one thing I've been using it a lot on, is just turning off the smart flow itself and then making adjustments to my auto base, whatever geometry I have on there, and then turning back on smart flow has made it like so much faster whenever you're operating with that.
Fantastic. All right. So look, I'm happy to keep working for all the users that we have here. We know that this is a tool that they use every day. It's very, very important to be a tool that is working smooth and making the work. So keep bringing feedback. We are here to listen to you and achieve what you are looking for. As I said at the very beginning, if anyone wants to be part of the release candidate group, also will be happy to get you and put you in that group so you can have the versions prior to the public. So just send us an email and to either support or sales or to myself, and we'll be happy to help you on that. If there is nothing else, I believe, Tanner, that we can how to join the candidate group. You can send us, I will type a message, support at gemvision.com. So if you send just an email to support, they will bring it to your request. They will bring your request to us. And from there, we will send you an email with logins and everything. And then just from the launcher, you need to select a release candidate, and you will have access to all the release candidates. So also, if you become a release candidate user, we have a closed group in our forum where there you can bring your ideas, if there is anything that you want to bring for the new version. So we are willing to keep building this community that always Gemvision has been.
Yeah, and I also put my email in there. So if you have any questions, you can always just shoot me an email, and then I'm going to send you guys out the notes. I have 3 people's names written down, so I'll get out to you guys later today.
Fantastic. Let's call it a day. Thank you, everyone, to attend this webinar, and
guys,
we keep in touch. Thank you so much.
Yep. Take care, everyone.